Alright, what's good with y'all boys and girls? Today, I'm going to give you three main tips to improve at PvP, whether that be 1vx, Battlegrounds, Imperial City, etc. I call them the three S's. So, without further ado, let's get into the first S, which is sustain. Yo, it's probably the most important part of anything you'll ever do in PvP. Now, people sustain, limits are different. I can go out there, have 1300 right now, and stand recovery 1400, mag recovery we do just fine. But someone like Kirchhoff has 4000 of each resource, so keep that in mind. But why do I say it's more important than damage, defense, mobility, and all of that? Well, you can't do any of that without sustain. You can't block forever. Once your sustain is out, you can't block. You can't sprint, kite. You can't do damage. You can't heal. You can't use that streak, that cloak. You can't do anything. You're a sitting duck once you're out of sustain. It's very important for every aspect of PvP. I would recommend over sustaining and then slowly but surely taking it down to, or adjusting, learning your build, and removing any of that extra sustain you have and putting it towards your other stats like defense, damage, and other things. But sustain is the single most important stat in PvP, in my opinion. All right, we get into the S number 2, which is synergy. Your build needs synergy. I know. Go out there, have fun, but also you want to be competitive at the same time. And I get it, man. You want your we was just talking about it actually, your infinite sustain build. You threw on the Siphon and skill line, you threw on dark magic, and you threw on Earther and Hurt, and you had the ultimate sustain build, but it did nothing else. I mean, your build has to synergize. You can't go try to make a crit build and you don't use Khajiit or fighting finesse or race against time or Adric spear skill line, or maybe assassination skill line, or the warden skill line, or any other source. You don't have enough crit to even try to crit. Like your crit chance is 10% and you're running full on, full blown crit damage. You had all those things previously, but you crit once every 32 attacks. Like, synergy is super important, man. Like, maybe you want to be a more stand and tank type of guy, but you don't have the ability to stand and take. I mean, you have 10k resist trying to tank and spank someone, and you're like, I get one shot every time. Well, my boy, you have 10k resist and 1000 crit resist. It's not going to work out that way. Your build has to have synergy. It has to, everything has to come together like a cake, or some cakes, any form of cake. But all in all, man, just make sure it's working well together with everything else you're doing within your build. I get it, man. You want to go get that super fire damage build, and you got 14 sources of shock damage. Come on, man. 2 sources of fire damage and 14 sources of shock damage, and you're like, yeah, this isn't working. Fire builds suck, sir. you, like, and even those can synergize. Well, I know I'm making mean, but like, you can get concussion and all that from shock and increase your damage, like, but you get what I'm saying, right? You just gotta have perfect synergy. All right, man, I'm gonna get into the last S, which is sort of cheating, but start kiting. I know I had to put start there to make it an S, but seriously, man, you can start in something like these BGs. You can start open world, however you want to do it, but start kiting. Kiting is effectively like extra health bars. You can get 100% mitigation while kiting. You can have infinite health while kiting. Like, why are you not taking advantage of this? It's super strong. Like, you mitigate so much incoming damage. I mean, basically, you have enough mobility, speed, and situational awareness. You can you can avoid like up to 90% of your damage quite easily, and that is a lot of damage these days, especially in this patch. Like, start moving and kite effectively. Don't just randomly run and sprint in circles and things like that. If you're going around in one big circle, up and downstairs, it doesn't matter, just following the same path. You don't think, I mean, regardless of how brain dead you may or may not think PvP players are, you know, they have some semblance of logic. I mean, they're just gonna follow you around in that circle too, putting damage in your back. You know, you gotta zig, you gotta zag, you gotta sway, you gotta streak, you gotta cloak, you gotta roll off, you gotta drop down, you gotta run up, you gotta, you know, juke them, go backwards, go forwards, go backwards again, make a figure eight, whatever it is, and know where everything is at. Cyril's been out a long time. I don't know names of keeps. I don't know areas, but once I get in a specific area of kiting, it feels like home. I've kited almost everywhere on the map. And I can kind of figure out, okay, this keep has a box in the next room. Sometimes I make a mistake on that, but you know, I'll be like, oh, this keep has stairs over here, or this keep has 77 guards at the back. I need to move towards the front, or it has 77 guards at the front. I need to move towards the back. Like, okay, these rocks are good kiting as long as I don't get knocked off of them, or I parkour terribly, which happens a lot of the time. But all in all, you want to keep moving, you want to keep kiting, because once again, line of sight cover is effectively infinite health. Imagine you just standing out in the open, and a lot of builds have the ability to do this. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but you can build to do that this patch. I've done it myself, but I still want to be near line of sight. Yes, tanking and spaking looks fine until those resources get low and you're just like, oh poop, I need to run, but by then it's too late. Should already been in line of sight. Use those health bars effectively, and then you don't have to use your own health bar. All right, man, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Bonus tip: stop overextending. Hey, yo, that's another S, believe it or not, but stop, man. Y'all, like, I don't know what it is. I think I'll just call it tunnel vision, right? You see a 400 CP, a 100 CP, a level 20, and you completely ignore everything else that's going on around you, and you wonder how I died. Come on, man, that dude's gonna die anyway. You don't have to risk it. You don't gotta risk it for the biscuit. Sit back, play patiently. I know the kiting game is the long game. It's not fun to watch, but you can edit it. You can edit it if you upload content, and if you don't, why do you even care? Play the long game, win the X, salute yourself and pat yourself on the back. You want to make sure all your buffs is up. You want to keep this. I have this problem sometimes myself, believe it or not. After years, I just get tunnel vision and I let all my defensive buffs down, and all of a sudden I explode. It's not often, but it happens once in a while. But once in a while is a bit too much for me. So if you're having this problem all the time, change it, man. Don't overextend. Don't get tunnel vision. Play the patient game. Play the waiting game. If you're good enough, they're going to die regardless. Or in this patch, they're going to run away, which is, I can't help you out with that. But either way is a win for you. All right, I'm going to get out your hair. It's your boy, KLG Ouchie. Peace!